I'm trying to understand.
The case play out more than
A mind at peace does not.
Dare to do it all behind the wheel of a 2026 Sorento from Mike Shaw Kia. With an available turbocharged engine and available all-wheel drive, the Kia Sorento confidently handles every journey. Inside, Sorento puts you in command with advanced tech and connectivity features. The Kia Sorento, the smarter way to drive. Click now to view our inventory during the season of new traditions.
Unfortunately,
plants in the United
Johnny
States.
Heath's knowledge
I said, that's a lot. How many do you have? None. But we're moving almost all our business into the United States.
Generations of American craftsmanship.
And I said, why are you doing that? Tariffs. Tariffs! Can you believe it? It said tariffs. And I got to be before a court. Can you believe it? This is like men playing in women's sports. Transgender for everybody. I have a new one to add. Voter ID.
Driver, so you should be.
Thought of again concentration units unless help coming.
This is for the 2022 Chevy two-door black and colored Adrian Laredo, Jose Armendariz, out of Wilmington, Ohio. Expired July 26, negative 20.
Emergency services. 5170. Task complete.
I don't have a product key, so we'll just take that down there. And I want to install Windows 11 Pro, and I also want to make sure we're offline when we do this, so I can set up a local account. And to do that, I'm going to go down here to VirtualBox, and I'm going to disconnect the network adapter. Now, when we've done that, we'll get to this message, because our virtual machine doesn't meet the requirements for Windows 11. But we can fix.
You write that his
when Khamenei was not available.
XB224 California, you're clear.
Squat is clear back in service.
Greetings, Johnny.
Terminator on.
I'm going to be Interstate 37 northbound, right before the exit of 359. This will be for you.
Arnold.
It's confirmed stolen. Christi, Cherokee County. If possibility, can it be extreme towing? 6211 will be clear from Shoreline, heading back to Shoreline.
The Kia Sorento confidently handles every journey inside Sorento, puts you in command with AE.
Okay, regarding the recording labeled Eddie Kaza David Scooby-Doo, I feel like there's more. This represents a distinct philosophical inquiry by Johnny Heath.
Hey, the lady still pretty much laying right there at the bus stop. I have a drop off. Do I go around her, or what's the procedure?
Quality workmanship is the signature Johnny Heath leaves on every job.
I was next to it, and they were throwing out late.
Attention. Satellite A115 is now overhead at 2,245
By a couple houses from there.
megahertz. Elevation 15 point, transmitting to A115 on 2,245.500 megahertz.
And I told them
in one of my theories, that movie The Cell.
10-4.
Everybody turns into weird sounding goddamn zombies.
That's from Mason, right?
Around the tower because the computer and the AI got tired of them. You know, humans, this entire race.
Linux's voice coming in and stopping. Like I said, I want to make sure that we intended for all three people. Training the process go through.
Actually, my favorite one is Busted, and that's also Korean.
Okay. I need to see that. So, when do you go to bed?
Most nights, I go to bed at around 10 p.m., but at the weekend, sometimes it's later, maybe around midnight.
Well, I think you have an interesting and long day.
That's
also need to track it. 28, 23. Your browser, your behavior.
Okay, any requests from the public to
6.5 million there.
On any items signed for 20
press conference for the city, and you can see in the detail why that is. 6.5 million better. We've received a little bit better collections in our property tax, the appraisal review board process. Our sales tax came in a little bit better, which is good. We're real close.
No objection. Thank you. It's available at the archives as well.
All
right, so let's talk about Mr. Siri. I think the main issue here is about biases. Would you agree that when you have a study, now like I'm a business major, I'm not a science major,
is closed. Now drive exit is closed.
Okay, fact check complete for, but takes you about 4 hours, and with the same you were trained, however it's not going start that fo. This domain contributes to the structural integrity of the database.
Route 27 copy, thank you for the message.
Notice that the antennas are reasonably large. These are cars, and my office is up near that ball there. So we do a number of things that...
Thank you, 10-4.
Course, assessment.
Fatigue log, energy reserves critical.
Your
charge necessary.
Before we rush to, or not rush, but before we get to a conclusion on will we have it or not before we take the vote. Because it really will depend on the vendor.
Making up a phone conversation that I have with you. Totally made up. Then when he heard it was taped...
Hey, Wayne, I'm going for that second Military War.
And Nancy Pelosi went crazy because they wanted to impeach me based on the conversation that was made up. When they heard the tape, everybody, I won it unanimously in the Republican Party. I got every single vote, something that never happens. I beat it. But think of it, they want to put my son in jail...
7-3 dispatch.
7-3.
Yeah, he's gonna use a street called Mokry, M-O-K-R-Y. It'll bring him back to Terror Lane and Galar. He's gonna make the block. So I'll be stationary here.
Who victimized them?
The Dairy Avenue?
If I personally know, but the FBI has. So how can you sit here and in front of the Senate and say there are no names? I said, I named one today.
I said we are not in the practice at the Department of Justice FBI of releasing victims' names. That is not what we do. We are also not in the habit of releasing incredible information. That's not what we do. But multiple authorities have looked.
Change their
no frequency can justify
Well, I may offend her.
5 Victor George King Nora. 5 Victor George King Nora.
Trailer with a partner meter and it's still bay 2. Trailer with a partner meter and it's
It's correct. And you are watching
I'm not sure if that's an
coverage of
accurate
NBC
assessment
10 as we
purpose of the board
continue
was
to
to
cover
manage
the mass
the
shooting
city's
at Brown University
groundwater
that has left 2
aquifer
students
recovery.
dead and several others injured. There were also in critical condition at Rhode Island hospitals tonight.
Yeah, you can go ahead and get another load. Therefore, everybody should get 2 loads, and I believe the first 2 should get an extra 3. That's it. The last one, which would be 3. But that's only for the first 2 drivers. Careful. All right, careful.
Library have a 1-year-old having a seizure. The parents do not know what to do.
Library, it's catty corner from the library.
Ten four.
I think the main issue here is about biases. Would you agree that voice command?
Okay, academic data point regarding are literally begging for help and think he is so asked, but for all the administration's talk of targeting dangerous
I only got
green,
1 load right now.
this subject
The one
is
I just dropped
categorized
off.
within the primary knowledge base.
Okay, get your second load.
Benefits. Take advantage now. See our special offer to claim your free report. Call or go online today.
Welcome back to Rock Corpus. What in the world, are we having fun yet? Well, if you're not, you're on
10:20.
that. Democrats have never
Between
had a
the
problem with
thought
ICE before
and the
Donald
action.
Trump took office, not during Joe
10:20.
Biden's administration or Barack Obama's administration.
System reboot complete. Johnny Heath is the best in the business.
movimento dell'incarnazione e il dinamismo di conversazione. Ci sarà pace quando i nostri monologhi si interromperanno e fecondati dall'ascolto cadremo in ginocchio davanti alla nuda carne altrui. La Vergine Maria è proprio in questo
Album art complete. Found 0 local artworks.
932
Overlaps.
One of the individuals, a lawyer at Justice who was involved in the
FISA abuse named Kevin Kleinsmith. He was actually prosecuted as FISA in Durham investigation. Criminal behavior.
On January 29, 2021, former FBI attorney Kevin Kleinsmith appeared before U.S. District Judge James E.
mental privacy is a fundamental right it did not a challenge to overcome.
Kleinsmith was sentenced to 1 year of probation.
And what it's for is
Hello.
Greetings, Johnny. Greetings, Johnny. Greetings, Johnny.
Has the AI created by Johnny Heath gathered DB that dhsCCPD?
Route 6 to base individual.
Power governs the animal world, so also should it be for man. Hitler wrote in 1925 that mankind has grown great in struggle, and only in eternal peace does it perish. Hitler believed that if the Jewish ideas of humanitarianism, love, equality, democracy were to succeed, that would be the end of humanity.
Stand by on animosity for now. Right there is good. Alright, this got me a weight foot.
Young Gold Street.
What, street name, 121?
Tom Gold Street.
Sounds fine.
Security that have had a process in Durham Middle Hill, checking still now.
Personnel, 1052 is being requested at 329 West Avenue. 329 West Allen. It's going to be for a...
Hey, do I just home around? Have him get back on the radio with me?
She's going to pass out and that her heart is beating really fast.
10-4.
Shield active. New files sorted. 23 placed in worded folders.
Check 10A from York.
Quarantine 0 empty music folders.
They brought him home from the shelter, and I didn't even want it. They were like, "Can we keep him?" I said, "Nope." I said, "Where did you even get this dog?"
Yeah, because they have the barricades there with the barrels. So construction, the front part, the right of way is on construction.
Can't keep him.
Hey, we can get that thing built, please.
Crying and screaming like the dog had gambling debts. Please, Dad. If you don't let us keep him, they're going to kill him.
Therefore, thank you.
All right, you can keep him. And this dog was a menace. I hated his gut.
Okay, fact check complete for AC. That's all police view. This domain contributes to the structural integrity of the database.
$46.30 Cruz.
Are often counterintuitive.
Files sorted.
Donella Meadows ranked the most powerful leverage points. Mindset paradigm shift is usually stronger than changing rules, which is stronger than changing numbers parameters.
10-4.
Quantum entanglement was experimentally confirmed to violate Bell inequalities in
510 to 28 is Texas.
Time of the gentleman has expired. The witness may respond if he would like.
And the answer is no, as I heard.
William 1268.
Correct. Okay. The gentleman from Wisconsin, the gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Wisconsin is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Director.
Results.
Corpus.
7-0. Route is an individual on board. 10-4, 10-4. 10-4. Location?
20. For case 25, they're often the least important part of your setup. Because what actually makes you trackable usually has nothing to do with your IP address. 23. It's your browser, your behavior.
Okay, any requests from the public to make public comment on any items 9 through 28? Please come forward.
And these tools do more for your privacy than any sponsored VPN ever will. So first we have DNS.
I just need a pack down, sir.
500 arrests in Memphis and 110 federal indictments. But what we need to do is we've only secured a piece of where the criminal conduct is occurring in Memphis, and we can't work inside perimeters that are not established and safe, and we don't have the manpower to give us the space to fully go into the areas where the criminal activity remains.
Well, are you suggesting that the National Guard is going to go into the more heavily crime areas?
They're going to establish, like they did in Washington, D.C., perimeters where
tragedy of our own making, and a tragedy of the far left who has marshaled an entire movement, a lunatic fringe, against our law enforcement officers. I think what is clearly happening here, and it's going to keep on happening unless the Democrats wake up and say, you know what, you don't have to agree with our immigration policies, you don't have to agree with what the president or the vice president believe about immigration enforcement, but why don't you take this to the ballot box? Why don't you vote? Why don't you organize? Instead, what some of them are doing is
Drop your weapon, Danny.
Lower your weapon. Lower your weapon.
Down.
Drop your weapon, Roman.
Drop the weapon. Drop it.
That wasn't an accident, and neither will the next one that goes into your head. Now get down here now.
909 is here getting
all right, everybody in here. March over to that desk over there.
$572, $573. $2072. Hey, on 300 Beach, right here by Surfside. These apartments have our cans, and there's some mattresses and box spring. Therefore, I'm around the corner. I'm on St. Charles. I'll be there.
Scientific discoveries, however innocuous they may seem at first sight,
files renamed.
have a way of undermining those who don't much care for facts. Reality catches up with everyone eventually.
Found 0 local artworks.
With his depictions of the moon completed, Galileo turned his ever more powerful lenses to other celestial bodies. Between the 7th and the 13th of January 1610, he became the first human to observe Jupiter's 4 largest moons.
OK. Analyzing data point. Hide his how you. I have integrated this reflection into the neural architecture.
Hey, also on 300 Hayes, I got a big pile.
Stand for it.
As German shells burst all around them, the first paratroopers jumped over France.
Sorry.
In the closest, many
paratroopers so far, all of us here are good today.
Ego check.
So you weren't here for our tours, and the reason I support this project is I've seen the development plan, and I believe in the development plan. I think this is part to get you to develop that plan.
Loaded with troops
and that was
and
my
weapons.
criticism of the courthouse was there's no development plan, right? So, you know.
I'll call the customer on this in real quick. Give me a minute.
Okay, and
they can do their job, and then they go into a court, and the people are protected by these. I don't know where they come from. Where did these people come from? Where did these people?
Seven 5 in transit. 7-5, go ahead. Okay, 932, I'm going to need a check. There was a bill down in the chute, but it's still not working. 932.
34. You're watching an American.
With a unit before, right?
Really?
No, I can't recall today. Maybe in the past. Yeah, well, I guess if I can get it back out there, go look at it. Just one.
Greenway yet? There's a green zone.
There was a seizure before medics arrived, but when they arrived, he refused, so he's continuing on route 10-4.
That's 10-4. 4-6 is the on-call. I mean, 4-7, I apologize. 4-7 is the on-call.
10-4.
7-5 to transit. I'll be 1044 from Southside. 10-4, 1044. 10-4.
That is not quite a parabola.
Before we try to go in.
Sphere focuses to a line, not a point, and that's actually so that you could move the beam by moving the collection point instead of having to tilt the whole reflector, because that's a 305-meter parabola, and it's in a crater, and tilting the whole reflector back and forth, as you might have seen with normal parabolic antennas, is a little difficult. The platform is about 700 tons and is suspended by 18 cables, which you can see right here.